Well, good evening, friends, and welcome to the Dad and Lad podcast, where Dad and Lad talk Notre Dame football. And today we're going to be talking about Notre Dame's victory over NC State on Saturday. And I'll talk about what we experienced there and then look forward to one of the greatest weekends in football season is USC week, as it would be, or Southern Cal. My apologies. So, Micah, before we jump in, first of all, Saturday was awesome, beautiful,
It was very.
seasonal. Got a little chilly for you when you,
As soon as that shade went down, it was.
yeah, once the sun goes down below the press box, things get just a little chilly. And you had shorts and a t-shirt on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went with jeans and long sleeves, and I was comfortable. But just as comfortable as the Fighting Irish were with a 36-7 victory over the Wolfpack of NC State. Micah, your thoughts on the game?
I would like to talk about the refs later in that first half.
Okay.
That was
That first
something.
half was rough. We'll get to that.
CJ Carr is looking like a very promising future quarterback. By his junior year, he will be a Heisman candidate. He will be the best quarterback in the country. I think his only competition is if Bryce Underwood eventually develops, but
Figure something out.
yeah.
I'd
Defense.
venture to say he'd be a Heisman candidate next year. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Certainly. Yeah. Well, before we get into it, let's talk just a little bit because we kind of hammered on it last week as far as the refs go. Another set of ACC refs, and there were two, maybe three egregious calls on Saturday. The first that was under question was a pass interference that they threw the flag for as Malachi Fields was in the end zone to catch a touchdown pass. They threw the flag for pass interference on NC State, and after some discussion, they picked the flag up. Now, in the stadium, they did not explain over the loudspeaker, the refs didn't, why they picked the flag up. And yes, it would have been pass interference, but Micah, from what we could see from where we were sitting, we believe Fields stepped out of bounds as he was running across the end zone and re-entered,
Which would make him ineligible.
He's ineligible. At which point, pass interference isn't a thing. So that's kind of where we came to. Nevertheless, if the refs just would have offered such a simple explanation, I don't think most people in the stadium or on TV knew that was the case. Hence the hubbubaloo about it. And then we had the two calls that were challenged that both ended up in favor of North Carolina State. The first one, an incomplete pass, what should have been incomplete. I've never seen
it was clear. Like the ball moved in his left side, and I don't know.
The majority of the ball was on the ground.
Yeah.
And
he didn't have control at all.
They reviewed it. It was called a catch on the field. They reviewed it, and still, nevertheless, they said the call is upheld, as the new terminology this year would say. Just a couple plays later, and I said, right?
Wasn't it the next play?
Was the next play?
I think it was the
so we're about to pick this off and tell them what's up because ball don't lie. And Christian Gray came up with a big interception. Again, I actually feel this was a little closer of a call than the last one in that the angle was somewhat difficult, but
you could see the ball in his hands not touching the ground.
Right. It was much more clear. I should say it was a little bit more difficult, if I should say, that the referees would have to look at that. But
at least call it an interception on the field because he came up with possession. And then if you want to go look at it, look at it then.
That's a bold take for a referee to take. But nevertheless, I haven't heard anything back yet. From what I understand, Mondays, Notre Dame can reach out to the ACC officiating office and bring to light anything that was in question just for some discussion. And I do believe that they respond to that by Thursday. As of Wednesday night, I'm not aware of any response from the ACC. Nevertheless, we appreciate that they offer that dialogue. Nevertheless, it doesn't change the outcome. It doesn't change the score. And in this case, the game wasn't riding on that. Although, as
That
we'll
first half,
discuss,
it kind of was.
the first half was a little rocky, as it would be. It was 7-7 going. And I said, Micah, we got to get something on this last possession. And lo and behold, Noah Burnett from
By a
48
yard.
yards out. We thought it was going to go wide right
Mhm.
from where we were sitting. And that sucker hooked back in, and there's no way it's going to make it. And it made it by the hair of its chinny chin chin. Did it ever. So that gave us a great spark going into halftime with a 10-7 lead. And then the second half was history. Micah, what stood out to you in this game?
Will Pauling.
Man.
I mean, he was on a, what was it, walk-on corner or something?
Yeah.
Or nickel or something?
Yep.
I mean, they knew they were going to
They
target
had a
him the whole time.
fifth-string nickel guarding our slot receiver, in this case, Will Pauling.
Yeah, Will Pauling had 105 yards, 26 yards per catch.
Yep.
Which is crazy, and a touchdown.
And a tutty. Good on him. Good on him. A little bit more difficult of a matchup this coming week. Nevertheless, CJ Carr on the day threw 61%, still not as sharp as he has been, and did have the one interception that was on that pass interference call.
What do you do there, though? Like, if you're rolling out right, and I was listening to something where they should have at least one more option on that side. Not just Fields.
It was just Fields. There was nobody in between
There
Fields and him.
5 defenders right there.
Yeah. If anything, throw it away, sail it beyond the end zone. That's one of those things as a young buck. He'll learn and adjust. He's maturing at an extreme rate of speed, and that's why we think this year's only going to get better. Eli Reardon had the day of his life, 7 catches, 109 yards, longest of 36, which was on that beautiful pass over the corner and underneath the safety. On the run, CJ threw that. It was just a dime. It was such a good throw. KK Smith getting into the action. Good to see that. Maybe that's going to afford him some more playing time. We've been waiting for him to break out for a couple of years now. The speedster, as it would be. So as far as the NC State offense, we did hold CJ Bailey to 57% passing for 186 yards for the day, 6.2 yards a pass, 3 interceptions. Those interceptions came by way of Adon Schuler, Kingston Viliamu Asha, and Carson Hobbs with his first pick of his career. Good to see him get some confidence that way. Micah, anything else on defense stand out to you?
We held the nation's leading rusher to 46 yards. Hollywood Smothers.
6 yards.
Yes.
What was his longest run? 10 yards. 10 yards was his longest run. That's fantastic. Liam, those refs were horrible. Yes, we agree. I think most of Notre Dame Nation would agree with you. Like I said, we'll be keeping an ear out for what the ACC comes back with some of those calls that they made.
Did you hear that on Irish Breakdowns podcast? They were talking about like they should be like have a 10-minute press conference after the game.
Oh, in front of the press?
Yeah.
I have to explain what they saw. I think it's only fair. I also heard this week that there is a great pay disparity with college officials. First of all, college officials are part-time employees of their respective conference. They have full-time jobs during the week. So I just think about me having 2 jobs and having to shift and all the things I have to balance. Being a college referee is difficult. We'll give them this. But the SEC and the Big Ten pay about $6,500 per official per game, plus a per diem and their travel expenses. So they're getting everything taken care of. So whereas the ACC and the Big 12 only pay about $3,500. That is a huge difference. Now, I'm going to assume most of those refs are in the conference based on their geographic presence. So I doubt somebody, a referee from Georgia, from like North Carolina is a referee in the Big 12. or is looking to go down to the SEC. Most likely they're staying around schools that are in their geographic footprint. So it's something to be discussed. They've been tossing around an idea of having a NCAA officiating panel and crew and everybody be under the same umbrella. I think that's a great idea. Something needs to be done because there's just too much of a vested interest with officials linked to a particular conference. So Tay Johnson had a fantastic day. 7 tackles, 4 of those solo. Drake Bowen, 7 tackles as well, 3 solo. And Kingston Viliamu Asa, 6 tackles, 3
I got
solo.
his towel.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, had to go to the other side of the tunnel, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, over where the students are.
Mm-hmm.
Normally the basketball teams are there.
They were not there.
Yeah, I don't know if they had practice or whatnot, but nevertheless, a nice little sweaty towel for you for the collection.
Yeah. They had turf on it, which is sick.
Oh, okay. Little turf nuggets or bullets, as it would be, the little rubber things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Liam, do you think the refs should have to do press talks like the coaches do? Maybe if they have to respond to the public about their calls, it can keep them in check. Again, we agree with that. Something needs to be more transparent. At minimum, as the ACC is doing in ACC specific games this year, they are making the conversation between the on-field head referee and the office that's reviewing these challenge plays transparent. So you hear the conversation that's taking place.
I think they need to do that with every single
conference. Do it with everybody. I don't know if it's an NBC thing or whatnot that keeps NBC from airing that or whatnot, but I'm sure it's a sigh of relief for the ACC refs. Needless to say, those refs heard an earful from the crowd building off of last week's calls.
Mm-hmm.
They were booed there, and basically the entire second quarter into the tunnel at halftime. They were booed coming out of the tunnel at halftime. And frankly, that's the first time I can remember when I've booed referees coming out of the tunnel at halftime. So yeah, enough talk about referees. Let's just move on from there. Again, the 3 picks, Sadon Schuler had a big one with a 44-yard return. Kingston Viliamu Asa on a throw that really was meant to be thrown away by CJ Bailey. Picked it off, tiptoed to stay in bounds, got another 14 yards.
Aaron Schuler had an interception.
He did. Yep.
Oh.
Long return too. Yep.
No, you said Tay Johnson for the 44 yards.
My fault. My eyes are crossed, I guess. All that being said, again, this is one of those games where, yes, it's 7-7, 10-7 in the first half, but you just didn't see a threat, even with that score. And one thing that we are seeing as the season progresses, our halftime adjustments are getting locked in. So we have not given up a second half score in 3 games, I think. So Chris Ash and team are pulling their weight.
Do you think Chris Ash is still calling play calls?
Yes, because I don't see Marcus Freeman with a play sheet. So now I do believe conversations have taken place throughout the week.
Because I saw a lot of man coverage. I saw a lot of blitzes.
A lot of pressure. Yep. And I think that's just Chris Ash met with the media yesterday and just said that, hey, sometimes we got to get to know our personnel, get to know what they can and can't do. I have questions about what was seen during the spring and summer, but that's not for me to worry about. But again, all things seem to be coming together. This is the prove it week. This is where we'll know. Now, that being said, let's move on.
I would like to shout out Elijah Hughes getting playing time.
He's getting some good playing time. Yeah,
Transfer from USC.
Yep, and I think he's going to get some playing time this week too. He's going to come and get it. So yeah, are we good to move on to USC?
Yep.
Southern Cal. This will be our biggest challenge for the rest of the season.
Our last
with
scheduled
Pitt
game
outstanding,
too.
maybe. What's that?
Our last scheduled game with USC too.
As far as we know. And I think any Notre Dame fan, and frankly, I think the common USC fan wants to see this rivalry continued. I think it's all the brass at USC that's kind of making this difficult. I am of the belief that we play them Saturday after Thanksgiving every year. California, Indiana, last Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's rivalry week. You have Auburn, Alabama. You have Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, and Clemson. I know I'm missing others here. Of course, the game, Ohio State and Michigan. Why not add that to the docket? What a great day of football it is, and what a great day of football it would be.
Would Notre Dame not do it anymore because they're scheduling Clemson every year?
They would make a way.
Okay.
Notre Dame wants this, and they'll do what needs to be done. There's a lot of discussion about Netflix partnering with them and sending the game international. Mexico City was thrown out there. I think that's kind of bananas. USC and the whole West Coast already complains enough about travel, being that most of them are in the Big Ten now. Why would you add one more long flight to the ticket? Susan Fleck, welcome. Hope no rain Saturday night. That's not looking promising. Looking like some rain, looking like possible thunderstorms, maybe leading up to the game. Hopefully not during the game. We already get home at 12:30, 1 o'clock after a night game. And by golly, I'm tired on Sunday morning. So, if we can not have any weather delays, that would be fantastic. Let me ask you this, Micah, in a game where weather is a factor, who's the advantage? Who has the advantage?
We do. There's no competition. Yeah. There's two starting running backs for USC are out for the season with injuries.
Yeah, Waymond Jordan and Eli Sanders, both down for the count. So they're going to be relying on a freshman, King Miller, who does have 29 carries, 310 yards on the season, 10.7 yards a carry, a long of 75. So he had a big one there. You might see some Brian Jackson as well in the second slot there. Not much to shout about. But, I think I would agree. We will pound the rock, basically, if weather is a factor, and that will favor Notre Dame. So let's look at the USC team here. This is, honestly, Jaden Maeva.
I thought it was.
Jaden Maeva has better stats than Carson Beck at this point. Yeah. Almost 1,900 yards passing on the year, 72% completion rate, 13 tutties, 2 interceptions, only been sacked 3 times, whereas CJ Carr on the year at just a little over 1,600 yards, 67% completion, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but he's been sacked 9 times. Part of that was, most of that was early on as our offensive line was coming together. That brings about a discussion as well. Ashton Craig, we found out, unfortunately, out for the year with an ACL. Only played in 3.5 games last year, 2.5 games, and I just feel for the kid. It's too bad he will not be able to play. So it looks like Joe Otting, who is second in line, is going to take his space. I think, Micah, let me hear your thoughts on this. Sullivan Absher is the backup right guard to Garby Lambert. He has trained at center. He is enormous. He's like 6'7", 6'8". And being a center and being that tall can sometimes prove to be a little difficult. But I think he's your 5th best offensive lineman that's available. And if you want the 5 best on the field, why not put Sullivan Absher there? I don't know. Joe Otting did fine in place of Ashton Craig, but again, we're talking 2 different levels of teams here. So, Micah, what do you think on that?
I think they have to try Otting out the first half,
and
see how that goes, and then make halftime adjustments. Then put Absher in there
if things aren't going well. Yeah. Liam, what do you think will be our biggest challenge against USC, and what will be our biggest strength? Go ahead, Micah.
I think nickel will be our biggest weakness.
Oh gosh.
Because Micah Lemon, that's where he is going to be. That's either going to be Dallas Golden, because Devontae Smith is questionable.
Yeah.
And if he's not good to go, we are very weak there.
Yeah, he's already been exposed a few times. He's also made some great plays too. It's just part of that being a youngster. But then again, Micah Lemon is also a freshman, right? I believe. And he's got 44 receptions on the year, 682 yards with a 74-yard long, 6 touchdowns, which far exceeds any one receiver that we have. So, yeah, I would say nickel is going to be the biggest challenge. What about on
do you think they would move Leonard Moore there?
So Freeman talked about that on Monday a little bit. He spoke to the difference between playing field and boundary and nickel. Field and boundary, for the most part, you have the sideline to help you out, which takes away part of the field. In the nickel, the whole field's open. So not that Leonard Moore couldn't handle it. I would just hate for him to get caught out of position just out of habit and we get burned. Maybe on key third downs, maybe put a little size on Mr. Lemon there. Yeah, that's my thought.
Do you think Devontae Smith plays even if he's like 80%?
I think he's going to try. Yeah, I think he's going to play.
I think it'll be like game decision.
Yeah. We'll know quick how that's going to turn out. But man, what a game changer that would be if he can go even at 85 or 90%. I think it would be worth his effort if he's able to go. Running backs. Sorry, Liam, we didn't finish you there. The biggest strength for Notre Dame.
I think it's the running game.
Yep, got to be. It's the strength of our offense. Hopefully, our offensive line is in lockstep because we've struggled. Honestly, it's taken extra work for running backs to get the yards that they are getting. This offensive line is much better in pass protection than they are in the run game. So, but nevertheless, we have 2 absolute studs at running back. So, running game, I would agree, Micah.
Mel Kiper, at least, is.
Yeah, he did.
Mock draft, and he had Jeremiah Love at the number 2 overall prospect.
Yeah, number 1 running back.
And Jadarian Price at the number 3 running back.
Number 3 running back, among others. A lot of guys in the top 10 as far as their position group goes in this game, period. Yeah, so nickel's going to be our biggest challenge, and our running game will be our biggest strength. Thanks, Liam. Okay, so let's take a look at some of USC's big players. Again, we've talked about Micah Lemon enough. That's between Micah Lemon. I mean, that's our biggest challenge on offense. I don't think we're going to have a problem shutting down the run game.
Who lit us up last year?
He's gone. He transferred to man, where's Travis when you need him? Yeah, he transferred. I'm totally forgetting who it was now, but
Zachariah Branch.
Oh yeah. He lit up Christian Gray. And that's been a part of discussion as well. Are they going to attack Christian Gray again this year? I don't think so. I think they're going to attack the slot with Micah Lemon and whoever's in that slot position. If Devontae Smith is playing, I think they'll attack Christian Gray. If he's not playing and Dallas Golden is in the slot, I believe that Lincoln Riley and all his play calling prowess will attack the nickel position using the slot Micah Lemon. So Christian Gray, I think, will take this game a bit personal. He knows what happened last year. So do all the other people that watched it on TV. He had his worst game, but his second best moment of the season last year in the 100-yard interception for a touchdown. Closely behind his interception against Penn State. Man, so yeah, I think we have the offensive advantage just with all of our skill position players, Malachi Fields, Jordan Faison. Just to talk about him real quick, our leading receiver, 29 receptions, 376 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns on the year, 13 yards a catch. He just continues to produce week after week after week. Add in Will Pauling. Add in a questionable
Jaden Greathouse.
Jaden Greathouse. He might see some playing time. Again, that might be a game time decision. We might know more on that tomorrow. We'll see.
I would like to talk about Jaden Greathouse.
Let's talk about Jaden Greathouse.
Do you think he'll transfer? I know there's been some talks about it.
I don't think the talk has any validity. Will Pauling is done after this year.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi Fields is done after this year.
I just feel like I know how he would feel after having the playoffs he had last year. He's not getting the ball and he's not really playing.
Yeah. Here's the thing that sets Notre Dame apart from other programs. Players don't want to transfer from this program. Part of that is Marcus Freeman and the relationships that he has built with his players. Part of that is the Notre Dame culture, the Notre Dame network. I do believe he will be getting his degree this spring, so that's something to keep in mind. That's a big deal. Once you get your degree, hey, blessings to you if you want to pursue maybe a graduate degree at another institution. But he would be one of the stars, I would assume, next year.
But we do have a very good freshman
They're coming.
Class incoming.
They are coming. Yeah. I don't think he's transferring. I'll just call it. I don't think he's transferring. I'm sure it's been talked about. Here's the other thing. These guys have been offered paychecks from other schools.
Wasn't Jeremiah Love offered like $3 million from Georgia?
Didn't go. Didn't go.
He's getting paid like $1 million.
These guys are bought in. I don't even think that includes the Samsung deal he just scored. Yeah, that figure was before all that. Who knows how much that's worth? But yeah, I just think Notre Dame of any school has the least to worry about as far as transfers go. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Greathouse. So let's talk about the USC defense and what we'll see. First of all, they have a linebacker, Eric Gentry, 35 solo tackles this year, 41 total tackles, 3 sacks. Obviously, he is the anchor of the linebacking core. They do have a safety, Bishop Fitzgerald, who is a ball hawk. He's got 5 picks this year. That's something to be mindful of. We've seen CJ likes to go for the big play. He's not afraid to throw the rock, which is a breath of fresh air because we just haven't had that in.
But you got to know
years.
when to throw it.
Yep. He's had check down opportunities that he's passed on. And hey, take the 7 yards and live another day. It hasn't come back to bite us so much this year, and this is not the game where it needs to bite us. Micah, you beat Travis to it. Jaden Greathouse question, I would assume. Yeah. So, oh boy. Also, defensive tackle. Again, the anchor of their defensive line, Devin Tompkins. He's got 10 tackles, 3 sacks this year. So again, offensive line needs to hold up between Eric Gentry and Devin Tompkins. If we can contain at least one of those, again, that will bode success for the Notre Dame offense. Defensive end, Braylon Shelby as well. He's got 3.5 sacks this year. So they do have some talent on the defensive line. Again, this offensive line, our offensive line will be challenged this week, especially with a fresh face at center, regardless of who it is. Nevertheless, Notre Dame still matches up well with this team. Eli Raridon, again, coming on I do believe he's going to have another big game. I think he's going to end up being our leading receiver by the end of this season. The way things are trending, he's at 20 receptions for the year, average of 17.1 yards a catch. No touchdowns yet, surprisingly enough. I think we called it Eli Raiden touchdown for last week, and it didn't happen. We also called a Jordan Faison punt return. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen this week.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be next week.
Going to be a little Tommy Z. If we can relive that Tom Zibikowski punt return in the 05 USC game that set that stadium in an uproar. Oh, Micah, players of the game. Almost forgot. NC State, Notre Dame, players of the game. Offense, defense. Offensive player of the game, I got to go with Eli Raiden myself. Again, 7 catches, 109 yards, long at 36, 15.6 yards a catch. As far as my defensive player of the game goes, I got to go KVA. He's just so fast. He's all over the place. Got a pick. It's not his first pick, but nevertheless, a timely pick. So yeah, that's my defensive player of the game.
I had Will Pauling on the offensive side and then Tay Johnson on the defensive side.
Tay Johnson was our leading tackler, tied with Drake Bowen, 7 tackles on the day, 4 solo. So Tay Johnson continues to prove himself well in that second safety spot. So, all right. Let's talk about final score predictions for the USC game. Micah, what say you?
42-31. Notre Dame wins.
42-31.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
High-scoring game. If it's raining and there's a lot of running of the football, time's going to go quick. And based on last year's game, you saw basically a shootout. And I think most people think it will be a shootout. I believe the weather will be a factor. I think that's going to limit scoring. I do believe we'll still eclipse 30 points. I am going to go 31-21. Like a 31-21 in favor of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. There is so much riding on this, and frankly, the pressure is on Notre Dame. We have everything to lose. This is our season here. Yeah, that's every game the rest of the year, but when you get to these high-pressure situations, some people fold. Now, the good thing is Marcus Freeman has proven himself in that we don't get lax for these games. We are up and ready to go for them. He proved it all last season. He proved it all last postseason. I believe we're going to come out firing. I believe that crowd, especially if it's raining. Here's the thing. When it's raining, the people who aren't loud and are wasting their seats, they go home. And the people that are left actually care, and they are louder than anyone else. Donald Fleck, 38-27 is his call. Liam, no rain. It's 38-27. If it's rain, 21-14. Notre Dame wins either way, as they do. Micah, are you concerned at all about the pressure situation that we're walking into?
No.
Nope, he says.
We had Miami and Texas A&M.
That was a lot of pressure too.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, walking in that Texas A&M game when really we needed to win that game. We were right there. And if it wasn't for our defense has greatly improved since then, if it wasn't for a botched hold by Mr. Buckner, that game would have been different, I think. So, that crowd's going to be rocking. It is going to be a fantastic fall day, rain or not. Somewhat mild as the game gets started from what I see in the mid-70s. But I do believe that's cold front coming in with that rain, so it might get a little chilly. So, Micah, I would recommend a sweatshirt this week, and we'll have some ponchos in our back pockets. We're going to have to find some green ponchos. Why? Because Irish wear green. Okay. I do have one blue poncho. I don't know if that's acceptable. I might have to
that's
look
not
around. So
you'd be the one wearing the poncho.
You're not wearing a poncho?
I mean, if it really starts raining.
Yeah. Also not wearing the new hat if it's raining. So, all right. Well, folks.
I would like to talk about one more thing.
Oh, Micah's got all the topics tonight. Please.
Penn State athletic director coming out, or not really coming out, but rumors have been saying he's targeting Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman is.
I know he's not going to leave.
He's not going to leave.
No.
His name's going to come up with every major coaching search. That's the thing. Why? Because he's one of the top 4 coaches in the country. The only 3 ahead of him, Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, and Ryan Day. And they all have national championships. Those are the only 3 remaining coaches that have national championships. So Marcus Freeman is right behind them. His name's going to come up every time a job comes open. Florida's going to come open this weekend, I'm afraid. So it seems. Obviously, Penn State's available. Who knows what happens at Oklahoma? Who knows what happens at USC if things go off the rails here? Texas. I think he gets some grace. I think Sarkisian gets some grace. I don't think their shortcomings are all on him. I think we can see why Quinn Ewers was starting last year and not Arch Manning. A bit of a disappointment so far, Mr. Manning has been. But I think Sarkisian, even with like a 4 or 5 loss season, I think he's okay down there. Any other the one school that causes pause if Ryan Day goes to the NFL and the
Ohio alma mater.
If Ohio State opens up, first of all, Notre Dame will open the bag to keep him. I can tell you that. And he has said, especially I think in his introductory press conference when Freeman became the head coach and the job was offered to him at Notre Dame, he didn't want to make the same mistake twice. In that, he was offered by Notre Dame back when he was a player. I think Ty Willingham was the coach back when he was coming out of high school. So, that would be my biggest concern is if that job opened up, but I think Notre Dame would be able to retain him. But there's really no other job outside of going to the NFL. And even that, I mean, it's got to be the right situation. Like, you're not going to walk into the Browns. No way. No. You're not going to the Jets. No way. Pittsburgh, if Tomlin retires, I think him and Tomlin are tied already. I would venture to say he would have to. I wouldn't blame him if he would take a look at that job. Solid franchise. They've only had 3 coaches in like 40 something years. That would be a concern as well.
How about the Bengals with Al Golden there too? Everybody saw how good Marcus Freeman and Al Golden went together.
Yeah, better situation than the Jets, that's for sure. I don't know. I think Al Golden might get contacted by Penn State.
Head coach?
Yep. He's a Penn State alum, first of all. He's tight end for Penn State. Again, he has proven himself as a defensive coordinator. He was a solid head coach when he was with Temple. When he was with Miami, he walked into a dumpster fire in Miami. I wouldn't pass. I think there's some discussion around Matt Rule, who is also a Penn State grad, if I recall, coming from Nebraska. I don't think the Penn State faithful would be too excited about that hire. Even if it's a good fit or not. But Matt
Dan Mullen's name came up too.
It did. That's a tough swing. Oregon's got all the resources under the sun. Penn State, granted, they're putting millions of dollars into their stadium.
Dan
right
Mullen
now.
is the UNLV.
UNLV, not Dan Lanning. Jeez. No. All the Dans are confusing. Dan this, Dan that. Where can I get some Dan bait? Anyway, Vegas Vacation for those of you who are into National Lampoon's movies. I forgot all about Dan Mullen. Yeah, he would be in consideration. Here's the thing. I don't think Penn State is that attractive of a job. That's where James Franklin has built it up to what it is, and I got to hand it to him. That's kind of what he does. He did it at Vanderbilt as well. Shout out to the Clark Lee led Vanderbilt team, kind of silently pulling for them since Clark Lee's their head coach. Also, the next landing spot for Kenny Minchie next year, for those of you who don't know, probably when Minchie transfers. He's from like an hour from Vanderbilt, and Clark Lee knows who he is. So, so like I said, I don't think Penn State's that attractive of a job compared to some of the other top tier programs. Florida, although they have struggled recently, their facilities need some love from what I understand. It's Florida. So, I mean, I'd go to Florida before I'd go to State College, Pennsylvania. Yeah. By the way, Micah, did you see James Franklin's buyout? He has to get a job in either broadcasting or coaching. It's part of his contract. He has to pursue a job, and Penn State only has to pay the difference of whatever that pay rate is from wherever.
I thought his buyout was like $52 million or something.
50 million, somewhere around there. But part of his contract was that if he was to be terminated, he would have to pursue a coaching position or a broadcasting position, and Penn State will pay the difference between that. Kind of a unique structure of that contract, as it would be to try to save themselves some money. I've seen Adidas might have had a role in the buyout. I don't know how much I buy into that. That's getting a little sticky at that point, nevertheless. Wow. Good discussion, Micah. Anything else? I mean, you've had a lot to bring to the table tonight. You got anything else for us? No? Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. We really appreciate it. I think I just looked tonight. We're right around 40 subscribers on YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time we go live. If you're on Facebook, give us a like, give us a share. Certainly follow us. So again, you can keep up with us. If you're listening to the podcast, which are usually getting about 25 to 40 listens an episode, make sure you give us a 5-star review. That goes a long way. We really appreciate it. I think we're waiting on that first review still. So whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple or whatever it is, give us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it. So we got a great weekend ahead of us, hoping for an Irish victory. And with that being said, I'm the Dad.
And I'm the Lad.
And this is the Dad and Lad podcast.